Yeah.
Powered by Riverside.
We live, baby. We live. We live. All right, all right, all right. Welcome to the next episode of the World's Beautiful Game podcast. Today we're going to talk about Champions League, some Europa League. Not too much of that, but just a little bit here, and just a preview of the weekend for the EPL as we have. We're down to the home stretch. 7 games left? A lot still to play for a lot of teams. Arsenal, especially, trying to hold on for dear life. We got those bottom teams. Wolves still. I mean, they're out of it, but they're trying to just ruin everyone's life. So hilarious shirt, by the way. I didn't even see you wearing that.
Thank you.
All right, man. How you feeling today? What's going on? What's on your mind?
Feeling good. Those decent games. I think a lot of the results didn't reflect the games, so it was interesting to see. And I just pretty cool. Just looking today, I see that England is going to be playing over here in Orlando against Costa Rica.
Is that their little
June.
send-off game before the World Cup starts?
So,
or not a send-off, I guess, because
No.
they're going to be here, but it's like a warm-up.
They have 2 games, but one's in Tampa and one's in Orlando. So Costa Rica and England here. So maybe I'll go. We'll see.
It's going to be hot as hell. Good luck.
It's June.
Yeah.
Early June. Yeah, it'll be a warm one.
It'll be
a Wednesday at 4. So we'll see.
I there's nothing weak. I mean, the U.S. games are. I mean, I'll see what's in Dallas to see if anything's going on over here. I'm sure there's got to be games because Croatia's based out all those teams that are playing in this.
Croatia played their 2 games
group.
here.
No, I'm saying the ones right before the World Cup starts. I mean, we'll see. If I can get to a game, I'll try to do it. But anyway, we're going to start off. We're trying to get straight to it here. To start off Tuesday's Champions League matchups, we had Bayern Munich and Real Madrid and Arsenal and Sporting. I know you watched and you got some of that more than I did, so I'll let you take the lead on that one. And then day 2 was Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, and PSG Liverpool. Go ahead. Let me know what you thought.
Yeah, I think the results, 2-1, so I wouldn't necessarily say the results reflected because I don't think Bayern dominated. I think Real Madrid actually had a lot of opportunities, and Neuer was a brick wall. He looked like his prime self. He had a lot of saves. He forced a lot of mistakes, I guess, out of the strikers, so they couldn't really get great opportunities to shoot. Vinny had a wide open him and the keeper, but Vinny does what Vinny does best and chokes.
He's not the Brazil of old. Ronaldo.
He is not anywhere close to Neymar. He couldn't even shine Neymar's boots. So I think, would I say Bayern deserved the win? Yes, because they played hard, they played well, but I think Real just dug themselves a hole because they just couldn't seize the opportunities that they had. But it was a good game. It was
not a terrible score to go back because I think they go to the Bernabeu next. They played.
Nope, they were at the Bernabeu, so
they
were back to.
Ooh. Yeah, that's rough. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Olise, I know, has been playing pretty damn good. I know people.
He had a lot of Doku moments. He has a lot of Doku moments where he surges forward and he shoots, but it's not really. Once he shoots, it's not dangerous. Just like Doku,
he creates more havoc and creates more. But that's fine because with Luis Diaz playing the way he's playing there and Harry Kane just being Harry Kane, I mean, that's all they need. Honestly, those guys get on the board. Real Madrid's gonna have a hard time in that second leg.
Well, the good thing is Diaz doesn't play like he does for Colombia for Bayern, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm still struggling to think about, what those results for those international matchups even mean, whether or not, I don't know. It's very interesting, but obviously
different. I heard Asprilla, I think it was Asprilla on I believe it was him on a podcast after the game, and he said why is Luis Diaz even on the team? Get him off.
That's so ridiculous.
Asprilla said that. I was like,
that's so ridiculous, dude. I mean, it's different things, right? One's a friendly and the other one is Champions League, man. We're right on the cusp. Bayern's my team to win it all. I don't think Real has it this year. I know, and you know what? I say that I think every year, and I think it's just because I don't want to see him win anymore. But no, I genuinely think this year I put money on Bayern to win it. So that's my favorite right now. I don't think anyone else is even close.
PSG.
So how good? Yeah, but PSG hasn't been PSG that won
Maybe
the
in the
Champions
league,
League
but
last time.
Champions League.
I mean, they've made it through, but I think if you look at overall, I think although someone did say they had Bayern lost in the group stages, I don't know. We can look back on
I
that.
don't know,
Anyway,
but yeah.
but yeah, then Arsenal, Sporting, barely taking a 1-0 lead there to go into the next leg. I can't remember where they played, if it was at Emirates or if it was in Sporting. I think it was actually at the Emirates. So unless I'm wrong, I probably have it wrong. But anyway, surprise bounce back or not a surprise bounce back to get a win in Champions League after them losing the last 2 cup games.
They play in Lisboa, so
okay, so they're going back to
home.
the Emirates. Okay, so they have a favorable game on the second leg, which is good for them because they need all the momentum and motivation and everything to keep them in that tournament. Because
Goicoechea was happy to play against his old team. He's hugging all of them right after, like,
that dude was such a waste of money. It's funny because there's two. Like I've seen the stats, and he has scored for Arsenal. He has goals, but did you know against the top 10, I think he has 1 shot on target. How ridiculous is that?
That is ridiculous as Arsenal fans.
Oh well, yeah, you got a point there. I just saw another thing the other day that an Arsenal fan compared Thierry Henry at Dennis Bergkamp to Gyökeres and Saka. Saying they was the next best thing since them or better than them. I was just like, oh god. Or Havertz, I don't know. It was one of I think it might have been Havertz and Gyökeres, but anyway. So not much to talk about for that one, but anyway. So yesterday, Atletico Madrid Barcelona, a lot going on in that game. Barca looked like they were doing their thing, but Atletico Madrid were fortunate to get not a penalty, but a foul outside the box and a red card for Cubarsi on a dumb defensive play. It's just a bad timing.
I wouldn't have said it was dumb. I just think the way they were running and they crossed each other, unfortunate.
Unfortunate is probably the better description.
Yeah.
But as a young kid, you got to know any touch on a striker, especially in a position like that when you get caught in the backside. He's gonna.
It's unfortunate. I don't think he was purposely doing it. I think he was trying to get across him, and then obviously the other dude's running full force, so his leg kicks out and he kicks him. So I just think.
But and honestly, regardless of that, the goal that comes from that, we just watched it right now, just to look at that over again. What a kick! Top right corner. Goalie can do nothing about it. Louis, I think, almost got ahead to it, but ducked just a little bit too much. But nothing anyone could do. That thing went to no man's land, and no one was saving
Hudson
that.
would say, "Brilliant, absolutely wonderful." Yeah, magisterial.
He did it with one leg tied behind his back.
Yeah, exactly. So it's magisterial for sure. Yeah.
And then Sorloth in the 69th minute, I think it scored a second goal to tie, basically end the game there.
It looks like Sloth from the Goonies, so it's fair enough. Good name.
But and then there was some controversy. I know after the game, Rashford was whining and crying about handball in the box that wasn't called. I mean, not much to do. Tough result for Barca, who has to go. At least they're going home in the second leg. Is that what we said?
Well, they're in Spain, so either way,
it's home. Yeah,
it's not as hard.
No, but let's see. I mean, let's see if they can do something about turning that around and getting a result, because there's no more away goals. They need 3 to get through or tie to go to extra time and pens.
So
this is that time of year, and I tell you what, I wonder how much they're fatigued because Rafinha's still not playing, right? So they're struggling without Rafinha. I think he does a lot more for them than people realize. No wonder he was in the short list for the Ballon d'Or last year. But yes, and then moving on to the next one, PSG Liverpool. Liverpool's still not sure how that coach ain't fired yet. My man, I saw a funny clip on, I think it was Instagram this morning or yesterday, where some kid breaks down his tactics and basically tells him that you're suck. It was really funny, but no, yeah, 2-0 also there. Doué on a goal, on a deflection off of Gravenberch over the goalie's head. Not much you could do about that one. Kavicha in the second half on a crazy solo run in the box, taking on all the defenders. I think it was like 2 or 3, sliding it bottom right corner. But they're finding their form. I mean, like you said, PSG is still PSG. They have those players, the same players from last year. And they're just a solid squad that is coming into form at the right time because league form has been not that great. But any thoughts on those two games?
No, yeah, like you said, they're pretty straightforward. Nothing too, what were they, exciting games. They were good games, but there was nothing where it was kind of like, man, this was a one for the ages. It was good that I pretty much I had put my bets. I had put 1.5 over for PSG and 0 shutout for Liverpool wasn't going to score, and obviously PSG getting the win. The other ones, yeah, Barca and Atletico. Like I said, we already talked about that. That's pretty straightforward. I mean, the games are pretty good. They're they are what they are at this point. There's no. I don't think anybody can argue the results. I don't think anybody can say that there was unfair matches, bad calls, or anything. So straightforward games.
Who do you think has the best chance in all four legs of getting to the semifinal? You think Real turns it around?
Who has the best chance
Well, I mean, of the four, right?
of
Because
the four? Well, I mean, really, realistically, yeah, because obviously, I don't, Liverpool, I don't think has a real chance.
I think the two toughest is Liverpool and Barca. They need three
Liverpool and
goals.
Sporting. I think Sporting is the toughest because
But
they're
one,
going.
but
You're
1-0
getting
is not
yes,
the
1-0.
worst.
Okay, yes, it's not the worst, but you're still playing it much. That's probably one of the most uneven matches
But
between any of them.
But Arsenal has the most pressure in that game.
Yeah, but as far as on paper, Sporting shouldn't have a chance. It should have been 3-4 nothing, but obviously it wasn't, which Sporting stepped up. But Liverpool, technically on paper, has a squad, so it should be able to compete. Barca, obviously, for sure, and Real, of course, against Bayern, another. So I think those three all had the potential to for you to be like, oh, it's a coin flip. I don't know who can win, but Sporting was supposed to be is definitely. There's no way that anybody would have favored Sporting unless you're a Sporting fan, but that's why I think it's hardest.
Is Mbappe injured?
No, he's just scored the goal. He had a lot of solid shots that Neuer just shut him down. It was like I said, the only clear opportunity was just Vinny just blowing it. But Gnabry also had Lunin played it out to the defender. The defender played it right back to Lunin, and Gnabry was right next to the defender, and Gnabry just shot it right at Lunin and saved it. Yeah, so that could have been another goal right there that counted out. But Vinny takes a break, and he has
I'll tell you what, this
15 yards.
this sets up a great second leg for all the games, though, because I mean,
Oh, for sure.
for
Yeah,
Sporting,
nobody's out.
Sporting
Even
has
for
a lot to
Barca.
fight for, and Real also. I mean, it's close.
Yeah, I mean,
Atletico probably has the best advantage. No, PSG has the best advantage. I would say
Atletico
because of the squad. I just mean
No, I know, but I'm saying Atletico when they played Barca and they whooped their ass in the cup.
the last
And
three.
the second leg they came right back and they barely won by one goal. So 2 goals I think is nothing when that especially.
The most confident you are is that Barca has the best chance. Well, probably Real too, but Barca probably has a good chance of making it at least going 2-0 at home to go to extra time.
Yeah, I think Barca has a little more of a leg because they're still playing in Spain, so they're used to playing again in Madrid against Atletico. I think it's harder for Madrid to go into Bayern to get to get a result. So I think the toughest is Madrid. I think everybody else has a chance, even Liverpool. As far as like I said, the only reason I think it's the toughest is because you're going into Bayern, and Bayern is a very solid team. Those two are toss-ups. Those two are heavyweights. Like you said, PSG. The reason that I think Liverpool would have a chance is because if PSG decides to pull League One match performance, then
they're going League right out of the Champions League. No, yeah, you're right. I mean, I will say this. I'll say Barca has a shot of going up 2-0 and getting it to extra time, and then it's going to be a matter of who can outlast. I'm gonna guess that goes to pens. Is my guess on that one.
Okay.
My prediction will be Bayern will take, even if Bayern win 1-0 or tie 1-1. That's all they need. So they most likely advance, and I need them to advance so I can win some money.
I think they tie.
And then Arsenal, 0-0, 1-0 again. I think is what's going to be because they're not exactly scoring a ton of goals. And then Liverpool, I think Liverpool is going to have the toughest run of all the games. I would say.
If the Scousers show up, I'd be surprised. I mean, to outplay, I think PSG has enough right now.
I mean, but Mo Salah's dead now. Like he's
That's
nothing.
what I'm saying. That's I just think I don't think. I mean, unless
they're gonna have to get inspired real quick.
Hugo Strange decides to have the performance of his life, which he is known to have pretty good performances. I think they're out. Yeah. So I think pretty much the teams that won, except Barca, are all moving on. I think Barca moves on. I think Barca
that makes sense.
I think they win the game.
All right, so we'll move on then to Europa League. I did get a chance to watch the Villa game. I didn't. I'm surprised at some of the scores. Villa, I mean, took it to Bologna. I don't know how good Bologna is. I would imagine they're not that great because the Italian league clearly is having troubles. But 2 goals from Ollie Watkins. Looks like he's trying to make his claim for the England national team since he didn't called up for the 38,000 man roster that they had. Braga Betis 1-1. No, Anthony didn't play. Surprising. But Cucho Hernandez with a goal there.
Well, no, Anthony did. He came in the 46 minutes, so they brought him in right away. Just
didn't start him. Yeah. And then Porto 1-1. Nottingham Forest is a very odd result considering Nottingham Forest is
been playing so well, but remember the Portuguese teams they know how to show up in the European competition.
That's what surprises me is that they tied 1-1. Freiburg beating Celta Germany over Spain. That was a little surprising, but I really don't know where Celta's at in La Liga. So.
And to be fair, I mean, I guess in Nottingham Forest there was an own goal, so that's how Nottingham Forest scored. So
hey,
Porto
goal's a goal.
Shot themselves in the foot. Yeah, Freiburg. Yeah, Celta Vigo.
I will laugh. I will laugh if it's an all-English final on that one, considering how terrible Nottingham Forest have been this season.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean, based on the results, I'm assuming Villa moves on. I'm going to go Betis probably will take Braga. And then Porto, I think, has to beat Nottingham Forest in the next leg. Freiburg has a solid lead, so that's probably who the next one is on there too. Celta's going to have a hard time coming back from that one. But Europa League, it's not been exactly. I feel like it's lost its shine a little bit. Yeah, it's weird.
It came down a little bit, and then the Conference League is obviously
no one cares. Is Newcastle still in it?
Crystal Palace 1-3-0 against Fiorentina. So Italian teams once again.
They are having a rough go. Yeah, that is sad. But anyway, let's move on to what we really are here to talk about is this weekend's Premier League update fixtures. Excuse me. I'll run through them real quick, and then we'll talk about each one, see which one catches your eye. West Ham Wolves looking to just continue to mess with people's lives. West Ham has pushed out of the bottom, but this could be a game that costs them dearly if they don't take it seriously. Arsenal Bournemouth. We'll see if Bournemouth could take it to Arsenal. Bournemouth has been solid this season. And then Brentford Everton. That one is almost like doesn't matter. Burnley Brighton, another one. I mean, Burnley needs to play for their lives. Liverpool Fulham, interesting matchup because Liverpool is still trying to squeak in to get to those top, especially now that's 5 positions for Champions League for the English teams. Crystal Palace Newcastle, Sunderland Tottenham, Nottingham Forest Aston Villa. Funny, the 2 teams that just played in Europe are going to be playing this weekend against each other. Chelsea Man City, Man U versus Leeds. So.
And I think Chelsea City is probably the biggest one.
Absolutely.
Well, Man U Leeds obviously is an old rivalry that has been, I wouldn't say diminished obviously over the years because Leeds has been, came back up. That's still a rivalry. But City Chelsea I think is most important because, well, for one, City trying to catch up if they have any chance, which they still have a game in hand, so that can put them closer. But ultimately, Chelsea trying to get into the Champions League. So that's really the biggest thing, which they're 1 point off of Liverpool and they're 5-6 points off of Villa. So they really need to step up. Chelsea needs to bring it to City.
City's playing with a lot of motivation. A lot of they're turning it around, or at least they've turned it around the last couple of games. They've been very inconsistent, so I don't know if that continues. I think this is a huge game too because, like you said, a lot riding in this from Chelsea. Chelsea with all their mess going on and trying to, I would not be surprised if they fire their coach anytime here soon. My man Musa Dembele in there,
Well,
still holding on for dear life.
and Chelsea's been on other than playing in the as the FA Cup where they won 7-0, but they literally were on a 4-game losing streak. So they lost to Everton 3-0 when they got whooped. They lost to PSG twice and they lost to Newcastle, and then City.
Yeah,
I mean, the form's not great, like you said. Right now, the last 2 games they beat Arsenal and they beat Liverpool, so they're running on a hot streak.
Here's where I'm at with that. So I hate, and this conversation comes up in our guys chat all the time, where I do not want City to win. I don't want Arsenal to win. But we've talked
I
about
don't
it.
care if Arsenal wins.
Yeah, I mean, they're fans. I can't do it. I could
Yeah,
not.
but who cares? When's the last time that they won? I don't. They've never been. They haven't been relevant enough to. Yes, their fans talk. I mean, all the fans are going to talk when they're finally going to
They
win. And
don't
it's
just
been
talk, dude. They talk like they've won everything in the last 85 years, like Yankee fans. And they haven't won anything in 15 years.
Don't talk about the Yankees, all right? You're a Mets fan. You don't talk about the Yankees.
I'm just saying, Arsenal has
You
not
talk
won
about the
anything in
Yankees
15 years.
It's like the Mets fan every year saying, "Yeah, this year's our year," and then by
I don't say that.
Yeah, but
I never say anything about this is our
yeah,
year.
don't talk about the Yankees. But there are Arsenal fans. Arsenal fans are, yes, they're delusional, and I think their delusion's finally gonna come through.
You think?
I think it's finally.
No, it's
I
not.
think they
It's
finally
not
win.
set in stone, dude.
I know it's not set in stone, but
They're playing with pens and kissing each other in practice. Did you see that?
but I feel like City. Let's see their last fixtures, their remaining fixtures. They have obviously Chelsea.
They have
Arsenal.
Yeah,
they
but
have to play Arsenal.
they have a game in hand. Number one, so
Yeah,
they have
to play.
they have to
They
win.
have to play
Obviously,
Chelsea. They have to play Arsenal. Who's in relegation? Is Burnley in relegation battle? I don't know if they're
Burnley
already.
is, yeah. Burnley's in relegation.
So that's not going to be an easy match. Southampton, I think, is in the cleared up for relegation. So
Yeah, they're in the clear. It's Leeds, Burnley. Well, Tottenham's right on the skirting it. Who's the other one?
yeah, Tottenham Forest, and Leeds. Oh, Forest is.
Is it
actually
Sunderland? Sunderland is the other
Burnley,
one.
no, Burnley. I mean, Burnley.
Sunderland's the bottom.
So actually, Burnley's 20 points to there and 29 points to West Ham.
Wolves. What am I talking about? Wolves?
No, but Wolves is out. Wolves is out. They're not.
Oh, I know,
They
but they're
can't- they
making
can't
everyone's
make
life. Oh, I'm not saying they're the one. You said who's the bottom three? Those.
No,
those
but
are,
I'm saying as far as who's fighting relegation, as far as who can
oh,
possibly.
who can I can stay
Tottenham.
out? I got you.
Yeah, so West Ham,
So
Tottenham.
West Ham, and
Burnley
Leeds.
is hard because Burnley's got 20 points, so they're 9 points off of 18th, which is still relegation. So, I mean, so as far as those matches go, Arsenal, Chelsea, Everton, I think is going to give them a battle. Villa is the last match, so they have a couple of tough matches where it's not going to be a walk in the park for them to get through. Arsenal. I think they take care of Newcastle, Fulham, West Ham, Burnley, and Crystal Palace. I think they have a much favorable schedule.
I do think that I did notice that their schedule should
remaining,
but that's the thing, right? Like you have, that's the crazy part. You now have a schedule where you should win most, if not all, of those games, except maybe City's game, because they seem to have your number at the end of the season, or at least this year. So that's where it's come down to. If Arsenal doesn't win out, they are shooting themselves in the foot. But that's a tough ask, dude. That's a tough ask at the end of the season with how tired. I heard there was a stat that a guy mentioned that Declan Rice, if he winds up playing the rest of the season, every game, plays the World Cup, my man's gonna be on 58 games played this year. He said, and the guy was like, even like the greatest of athletes are not meant to play more than 50 games a season,
especially football games. Yeah, absolutely, they're gonna run. Yeah,
so you're talking about waste. Like Declan Rice is probably gonna be on the last possible energy that he could possibly muster up to finish out the season, and that's their guy. That's their Ballon
Pick.
d'Or contender. Um, he is the glue to that team. No, he is the glue to that team. I think
Yeah,
he's why that team is moving the way they're moving. So
I I think
interesting for sure.
there's like about 21 points left, and I think United still have a chance to win the league because if they win 21 points, they have
Stop,
76.
stop!
You
Don't
know,
act like an Arsenal fan, bro. We don't need that right now. I just,
we have a chance.
I think we made top four. That's all that matters. We're in the Champions League next season.
I think, yeah, I don't know.
That's
Like
all
I
that
said,
matters at this point, to be honest.
early prediction. I think Arsenal finally wins the league, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because I just don't. I'd rather not City win. I don't.
That's fine.
As
I hear
you know,
you.
Arsenal at least have been a true fan base. They've lost forever, and their fan base has still been around, so
They're
they
like
can,
Knicks fans.
yeah, exactly. So they can forever take losses. I'm okay with that and be, um,
I
they so
think
and City doesn't win. That's a beautiful thing.
I
I
here the
hate
here the
City
games that
winning because
I think
you
besides
know
that that's a good watch. I think Wolves West Ham might be a better watch than people realize because Wolves are gonna stick it to West Ham, who's in that relegation battle, because Wolves don't care anymore. I think Bournemouth may give Arsenal a hard time. Let's see. Let's see if Arsenal can put it through because Bournemouth scores goals. I'm gonna tell you right
yeah, and
now.
I think those teams, any team that's gonna play the top team, they're gonna give them a problem because they're like, you know what? Yeah, you're close to winning the league. Well, you're not gonna do it on our watch. You're not gonna do it on our house.
But
So
that team specifically scores goals. Like they don't. They're so it's just a matter of can Arsenal keep up and score more. So that should be interesting. I think another game that's very interesting is Liverpool Fulham. Fulham is decent on their day. They can beat anyone, and Liverpool is not looking like they're looking like Tottenham a little bit. It's a very interesting watch them. So
United
they need
Leeds
to
is
be
going to be a good
careful.
match too because United it's not going to be a walk in the park. They're not going to let them just go through. So
Yeah, I'm just hoping Carrick's character and the United way and all this stuff that we keep talking about comes through because that's a game that you have to win. You cannot give it to them. I mean, you have to give it to them. If you don't give it to them, they're coming after you. And Leeds is
remember,
going to
Leeds have
score
just
some more.
been unlucky and not scored goals because they've played in a lot of low-scoring games. They might not have scored a lot, but they don't really get scored a lot either. So I think it's going to be it's going to be definitely a tough match for United. Um, but they need to keep it up to obviously try to even get second place if they can.
Man, even Crystal Palace, Newcastle, that's an
Oh yeah,
interesting
all the
one.
matches are yeah.
Sunderland Tottenham is interesting because Tottenham just got De Zerbi, who like a lot of things that I've been seeing, and I'm wondering myself, is because he has a reputation of being hard ass and someone that like comes down on players. I've seen him talk down to players when he was in France, so people don't take to him very well. Will he come in to just try to get them, to stay up, or is he going to come in and do what he does to like? Because he's a to me he's a great coach. Like what he did with Brighton, after Potter left, like everyone thought that was going to just stop. Like he had that team rocking and rolling, and he could do that for Tottenham, but can he do it fast enough with 7 games left? You think he has it in him to keep them up, or are they in trouble? Are they getting relegated?
Too
Matt,
soon to tell. I
it
mean,
looks like Madison is back.
too soon to tell. I mean, even though there's a few games left, but I think because they're so close in the points, it's just you got to go week by week, and you just kind of got to see exactly. Let's see how they do this week, and then see if they can carry that momentum on into the next week. So I think when there's 3 games left, that's kind of like all right, they're either gonna push forward and stay safe, or I think they ran out of gas and just cars breaking down.
Yeah, no, I think it's interesting with them. Like that's I keep seeing people because some Arsenal fan was like, "What would be your dream for Arsenal to win the league or for Tottenham to get relegated?" My man said for Tottenham to get relegated.
I mean, it's just
That is
it
how much
it would,
they hate each other. That
but
is
it would just
wild
be
for
it
to
would be
say.
insanity for Tottenham to get relegated because for Tottenham to
That
fight to
stadium,
possibly to win, well, possibly fight a couple of seasons ago where they eventually broke down and didn't win the league, but they had a chance, and now all of a sudden,
I
and to
mean, but
be
they won
such a
the
big
Europa
team,
League, bro.
and
That's the crazy part.
to be such a big team, um,
They're
because they're still name wise, they're still a big name.
yeah,
When you talk about Tottenham, you're not like,
it's history.
well,
It's a
yeah,
lot of history.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're not, yeah, well, not a lot of trophies, but
I
history.
didn't say successful history. I just said a lot of
But,
history.
but yeah, yeah. So they, and they produce players, Modric, Bale, so they produce quality players that won
They've
multiple
also
Champions Leagues.
sold them.
Yeah, but I'm saying they came, well, they came out of, so for them to be where they are now is shocking to be at
two
relegation. So
two seasons in a row. Like it's crazy to think that they couldn't figure it out from last season to this season, firing the coach
yeah,
and like the injuries messed them up so bad that you couldn't. I don't understand how in the transfer window they didn't like just go sign like cheap players from South America or just like bring anyone in just to have bodies because they can't seem to even like I guess they don't have enough of an academy to bring in players either. If I was
mm.
them, I would have loaned players from other teams in the EPL at that point, like save some money that way. I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, that's a good weekend for games. I'm kind of looking forward to what the results are going to be, seeing what we have to talk about after the games happen. But crazy last 7 weeks of the season, building up to the World Cup. A lot to really look over. Yep.
Shout out to PSV.
Oh yeah, Pepe Dest winning the league already for PSV. That's fantastic. Still
PSV Eindhoven.
still pretty upset that Pepe didn't get playing time during the
Uh,
break, but
he's been hurt and he's been coming back, but
With Ajaman going down, I'm really curious as to whether or not he's the guy that now becomes the next option because Haji Wright has been hot also in the but
and I
wasn't
saw
called
some
in.
comments about people talking trash, like, oh, well, the Dutch league is blah blah blah. It's like, no, Dutch league is good, and then maybe they've been off season, and I know Ajax has kind of been off. They haven't really been where they have been, and there's been a couple
PSV's
other
been good for a
teams.
couple seasons now,
Yeah,
so they've been
exactly. So yeah, people like to downplay, but obviously it's the people that probably could never make it to even the ball boy position. So yeah,
Hey,
congrats to
and I
PSV.
tell you what, as much as it sucks for Ajaman to get that injury right before the World Cup, this actually is a good opportunity for Luna, Sendejas, who weren't called in last window, to see because I mean, Gio probably definitely makes a team now. Curious to see what that means for those players, but we can talk more about that when the roster gets called in because it should be here soon. You said that he said he didn't want to wait too long before he calls the
Yeah,
final
he said
roster.
he didn't
So
want to wait past March, and we're past there. So
yeah,
typical American deadlines. He's already turning into an American.
yeah, we'll see. But anyway, final thoughts. Anything else in the world of soccer
No,
you want to mention?
that was my shout out. I don't think I have really anything. I know there's Libertadores games. I don't really watch too much South America, but they have quality games. I need to try to catch up. I guess, have enough time to try to get some highlights because there is some South American teams that definitely put in quality work, and obviously those players a lot of them get products and they get sent over to overseas. Um, I guess once they start into the closer rounds, I'll start to pay a little more attention so we could talk at least a couple little highlights there. Yeah, the Dutch league, like I said, that was really the biggest thing that I saw because obviously, two Americans there, but I also do like the the Netherlands. I spent a day there briefly overnight, and then when I came back from Europe, which is a very very beautiful place. It was chilly, but it's nice. I do like them. They have a lot of history and a lot of quality players out the Netherlands. I did see one of their main defenders, I think might be out for the World Cup. I forgot his name, but he's been used a lot. I'll have to do a little more research into that and
PSV.
see. No, no, for the Netherlands, one of their he's been like a trusty defender for
Let's take a
them.
look.
Yeah, which apparently it's been let me see. I forgot his name. But yeah, apparently it's a big blow to the Netherlands.
Jordi Schouten,
Yeah, I believe that's who it was.
knee
He's out
injury.
for
Yeah, forcing him off a stretcher.
yeah.
PSV man. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Also, Jurian Timber is forced to withdraw from recent. Oh, but that's just because
So,
Arsenal
but
is calling in all their players.
yeah, But
That's all bullshit. Anyway,
yeah. So yeah, that's all I got for now.
cool, man. Yeah, well, thank you for listening. If you guys are watching on YouTube, just follow us on social media. We have Instagram, YouTube.
Comments, anything you gotta say, let us know.
Yeah,
We'll
help
bring
us
it up.
out, bring us in, invite your
You know, you
friends.
talk shit, it's cool with me. I'll
Anyone,
gladly debate
anyone
it back.
that's into the game or wants to get into the game, the World Cup's coming up. Where you guys? Let us know. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.
Have a good one, guys.
Powered by Riverside.